Hello, Mr. President. Thank you for taking some time to meet with me today. Our discussion is mostly going to be talking about building discipline and how we can help improve that here in the company. First, I'd like to talk about the impact that's currently having at DOOHICKEY's. We've seen reduced production, how having to discipline employees has interrupted workflow. We've seen how this has also led to poor culture. Our employees are unaware of the standards that are set before them, and it's created a fear-based work environment. There's also been an increased turnover rate. We've been having to let go, or some employees have been fired because of the discretion of certain managers. We've had to allocate extra resources to train and rehire new employees because of that. We've been in danger of legal risks because of this, and overall, our company's reputation is on the downturn because we haven't been implementing discipline well enough. Now, my first solution focuses on a very simple principle of recognizing effective work. And what I mean by that is I want to help build a culture of appreciation and motivation. The pros of this would increase morale and reinforce efficient habits. We would train managers to focus more on the good that their employees that they oversee are doing and less on picking out bad habits and pointing those out. This would be a basic principle, and it would just take a couple challenges of training our managers to do this new practice and some accountability from them to ensure that it's happening more consistently. This would take time and effort from our human resources department. We can overcome this by allocating the proper resources to take time to train our managers and create an accountability system where they return a report to us in the human resources department about how they've been able to point out good and efficient behavior and habits in their given department. Solution two is a full standardization of rules, and this is a main thing that needs to be implemented soon. And the goal here is to have policies and procedures to use that are consistent throughout the company. This would start with writing an employee handbook and making sure that there's documentation. The pros of this: creating consistent practices to follow, having formal policies of what you can and cannot do so that the employees know that there's a fine line of where and how they'll be disciplined. It reduces ambiguity. Excuse me. Everyone will be on the same page, and that will reduce our legal risks we put ourselves out. Both managers and employees will know this. And as I mentioned, standardized documentation. What I mean by that is we need to have management who are involved in disciplinary acts documenting each step and all that they do when they interact with an employee, so we can keep a consistent set of standards as well as a proper document to know that we haven't missed any steps. This would ensure accountability and set expectations. The challenges of this would be the training and the resources constraints of having to set aside time of making these set standards and making sure that both managers and employees can abide by these. We want to fight the biases that our managers may be dealing with and getting employee and management to buy into these new set of practices. I feel like we can overcome these challenges by setting aside time and resources from the human resources department to try and write these things, create trainings, and help create a sense of accountability as we meet with them and train them and help them understand how the standardization of rules can help them be more successful, both employees and managers. Solution three will be, once this standardization of rules is implemented, we'll be training managers in conflict resolution, communication, and trying to be less biased. This managerial transition training will increase employee trust, improve their leadership skills, and enhance the ability to communicate not only to employees but account to their leaders as well. Challenges can be resistance to change. Some managers may like the way that things have been going, where they have more ability to rule over their employees or don't have to have probable cause to let go of the employees. And that's going to have to come through training from us as well as potential open ideas from above management to let go of some of those managers who aren't willing to change and help our company grow. This, of course, would take some time and resources that we'll need to allocate to that. The fourth solution is the other side. So I've talked about how we can empower employees through reinforcing good behavior, having standardized rules that everyone knows and follows. And once those standardized rules are being followed and accounted for, how the managers can communicate better and take ownership over them, and now how employee empowerment can be involved. And what I mean by this is building ownership and responsibility among employees, knowing and understanding that the rules help them find success. In the past, in this company, we've been focusing on the bad and how some issues are their fault. We want to help our employees feel like we're helping them overcome their challenges and how they can continue to find success here. The pros would be to increase engagement and trust, open communication, and improve problem solving. The challenges to this would be potential for conflict, balancing the power dynamic between managers and employees, and ensuring that feedback is utilized. We'll need to make sure that we're listening to our employees and utilizing the feedback that they give us. My implementation and recommendations. First, I'd like to develop an employee handbook and make sure we have standardized rules, create a discipline system, implement that regular documentation is happening. We need to consult with legal counsel to make sure those first three steps are happening appropriately. Provide training for both employees and management to how this system can take place. And of course, we need feedback from both parties how we can improve, and implement an accountability system with the human resources department so that managers and employees alike can have open communication with us and account that these things are truly happening. I appreciate your time, and I hope that what we've discussed today is beneficial for us and how it can be implemented in the future.